30 years ago, a new breed of comic publisher introduced two teams of superheroes to the comic world, and they changed that world forever. To combat threats against which no single hero can stand, Earth's mightiest heroes united to protect mankind. We know them better as the Avengers. Around the same time, Professor Charles Xavier recruited a group of mutants to use their powers to protect a world that fears and despises them. They are the uncanny X-Men. But after all these years, how do you keep things fresh? How do you keep the fans coming back for the kind of excitement they can only get from the X-Men and the Avengers? Well, you add a little mystery. Break up the status quo. In other words, shake things up a bit.
X-Men don't cut and run. Don't cut and run. Don't cut and run.
The summer celebration will be spectacular. 6 issues with hologram covers, unexpected surprises, new title launches, plus the biggest contest in decades, the hunt for Magneto, with prizes like limited edition trading cards, full-sized video arcade games, and a complete set of #1 issues from the X-Men and the Avengers. And when the summer's over, the Marvel Universe will be changed forever. Right, Bob?
Yeah. There will, a character is going to, character very dear to everybody, will die sometime this summer. That death will have repercussions and ripple effects on all the characters. Not going to say who it is, but that will set off a chain of events that will lead to actually two team members leaving the X-Men and another character coming in who's never been an X-Men character before. But as I said before, any character can be written out, any character can die.
The celebration kicks off with X Factor 92, shipping in May. It's written by Scott Lobdell, penciled by Joe Quesada, and inked by Al Milgram. The action-packed cover of X Factor 92 features an incredible hologram of Havoc. And the story holds a surprise for fans and X Factor alike when the team finds out about Val Cooper's secret involvement with the Sentinels and Project Wide Awake. By the way, the art you've been looking at is taken from a 16-page anniversary preview, a free insert in a variety of Marvel comic books shipping this May, including the new monthly series, Cable. June means Cable's back in X-Force 25. The cover features this explosive hologram of Cable, and inside, Magneto's emissary Exodus offers Cannonball and Sunspot a job with Magneto that's hard to refuse. June sees the start of 2 4-issue limited series starring favorite X-villains Deadpool and Sabretooth. July gets off the ground with another hologram cover, this one featuring Magneto in Uncanny X-Men 304. The Avengers heat up in July with Avengers 366 and the Avengers limited series starring War Machine, Thunderstrike, and U.S. Agent. They're giving the Avengers a tougher reputation than ever, and in this limited series they come to blows with Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. July's also a good month for seconds, with X-Men Unlimited #2 and the second X-Men poster magazine, filled with killer art by fan faves like Mark Texiera. And finally in July, it's the X-Men Survival Guide to the Mansion, a unique spiral-bound training guide that takes X-fans inside Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters to learn how the X-Men train and how places like the Danger Room work.
These dangers are patterned on those X-Men might encounter in the field. Our continued training is crucial. As long as mankind fears our mutant powers, we are in danger. In the days ahead, we will have to depend on each other for our very lives.
I think the X-Men popularity rests on the fact that these are individuals who have a very special power. On the outside, they may look like a freak or a monster, but on the inside, they have these great special powers that they could really help the world a lot if people just give them a chance and get past the outside look. And I think at any given time, any one of us has felt that way. We've all felt alienated. We've all felt that, you know, people don't appreciate us for what we can really be and do. And I think that's why the X-Men work.
Who's your favorite X-Men?
Besides me, I would say the Beast, without question. Which, ironically enough, he is also probably the only X-Men who's also an Avenger. In the 30th anniversary of both books, it would, make sense that he's my favorite.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because I think he's the most like me. I think he's the one that I relate to the most. He's kind of, relaxed, doesn't care about too much, doesn't take it all too seriously, and just, he's not as furry as I am. Well, you can't tell with the jacket, but that's why I wore the jacket specifically for the interview, to keep that well hidden.
Right now, I think Gambit is the coolest of the new characters coming on.
And why is that?
He's mysterious. He's got a great power, and he's popular. I like anyone who's popular.
I've often identified with Cyclops a lot because he's the team leader and is always under a lot of pressure and is always struggling along, and everybody looks at Cyclops and thinks, what a stiff.
Of course, we know that no special event at the mighty Marvel House of Ideas can go off without the help of advertising and promotions. The X-Men's 30th anniversary is being promoted with a shattering poster by Bob Larkin. The poster depicts the tumultuous return of Magneto and his impact on the mutant universe and the characters within. These pencils from the Avengers anniversary poster by artist Lou Harrison show the Avengers going through some serious changes of their own. And of course, the Master of Magnetism is behind it all. This poster for the Hunt for Magneto contest is painted by a master in his own right, Bill Sienkiewicz. But wait, there's even more. Like the anniversary trading card set. 14 cards will appear in various issues with scratch-off game pieces and entries for the grand prize. Plus, 5 cards are only available as prizes, making them part of the most exclusive card set ever. And now, a word from our sponsor.
Hear the sound razor-sharp adamantium claws make when they extract their revenge. They're here. Marvel's X-Men on Sega Genesis.
You gotta fight hate!
You gotta make a stand!
That's what the X-Men are all about!
Man or mutant, it's all the same. The fight's against evil.
Marvel Comics X-Men, today's most popular superheroes!
Saturday morning's hottest TV show.
And America's favorite comic books!
Marvel Comics X-Men!
Head-banging, pulse-racing action!
Isn't it time to see what the shouting's all about?
Getting back to the special issues planned for this summer, August is a Wolverine fan's dream come true. There's the Wolverine Limited series, drawn by Mike Manley and written by Alan Grant and John Wagner. And there's the Wolverine bookshelf comic, Killing, drawn by Kent Williams and written by John Reber. But we haven't left out the other children of the Atom, as these sketches to the hologram for the cover of X-Men 25 show. In fact, there are so many surprises in store for mutant fans, August may turn out to be more nightmare than dream. The pace keeps up in September. You're looking at Joe Madureira's pencils from Excalibur 71, the special hologram cover issue that features the writing of Scott Lobdell. Now that Excalibur's under the editing of the regular X office, look for increased continuity with the other X books. There's another hologram cover this month, Wolverine 75, written by Larry Hama and drawn by Adam Kubert. But the anniversary excitement doesn't stop here. TechNet, the Excalibur limited series drawn by Dwayne Turner, premieres in September. So do the Xavier Files, a very special edition of Xavier's personal records. Shown here is one of Dwayne Turner's pencils of Illyana. And what's going on with the Avengers? In September, Avengers 368 and Avengers West Coast 100 will both carry Hunt for Magneto contest playing pieces and exclusive anniversary trading cards. But for the real scoop on what's in store for the Avengers, let's ask the people who know.
With our 30th anniversary coming on, we've got some stuff planned. We've got especially the X-Men team-up this fall, which will have repercussions because Magneto's return will affect members of the Avengers, primarily Crystal and her daughter Luna. And we are going to resolve by the end of the year the Proctor Gather Cersei storyline and kind of shake the team up by the end of their 30th year. So for the next year, maybe some new characters will come in because, I mean, the Avengers are always about change, but hopefully, you know, a change of bringing in new characters that people care about.
Eric will be is currently slated to be a member of the Avengers. He is involved in the Avengers Limited series, which we have an interesting twist on. Thunderstrike, War Machine, and U.S. Agent fight Captain America, Iron Man, and the Mighty Thor. The new generations are always fighting the old generations, and many an interesting fight it is.
Finally, in October, we reach the last of the special issues, although by no means the end of the celebration. You're looking at artist John Zopp's pinup for the Spider-Woman Limited series written by Roy Thomas. But there's even more. In fact, you might call October a Cajun full house, with the reprint of the first X-Men and Ghost Rider crossover now in bookshelf form. And October begins the Gambit Limited series written by Howard Mackey and penciled by Lee Weeks. It's full of secrets about, well, wait, why not let ex-editor Bob Harris tell you himself?
We're going to be exploring more of his background. We're going to go back to New Orleans. We're going to find out more about his dead wife, Belladonna. We're going to find out how he was raised, where he came from, and we're going to explore more of his relationship with Rogue, who is everyone's other favorite X-Men. So it's going to be really the story of their relationship and where Gambit came from. There's going to be a twist in the last issue.
Does he deck some people?
Of course he decks people. He takes on the entire city of New Orleans.
Speaking of the future, what does the rest of 93 and 94 hold for the Avengers and X-Men anniversaries? There's a War Machine series to be written by Len Kaminsky and Scott Benson, with art that you're looking at now by Barry Kitson. And Sauron fans will finally get to know more about their favorite villain when he gets his own bookshelf comic with art by Henry Flint sometime in 94. But hey, there's even more! The return of Magneto leads to an even bigger explosion this fall with the X-Men and Avengers crossover. Not only that, but the premiere of a new monthly X title starring a brand new team of mutants, Generation X. The plans are still secret, but maybe Bob and Scott can give us some hints.
Generation X is a new series we're planning for 94, written by Scott Lobdell and also Chris Bacalo. The reason for Generation X is going to become clear by December, why there has to be a Generation X. And as I said, everything has repercussion on something else, so everything is important.
Banshee will be the new leader of the group, but Sean comes at it from a history as an Interpol agent. So his feeling is that he's going to teach these new students what it is they need to get by in the world and to assimilate into the human population. Whereas Cable is more of a soldier and a warrior who feels that he should go out and kick butt and take no prisoners.
One last question, Scott. Where do you think the X-Men will be in 30 years?
They'll probably be hitting the Days of Future Past storyline. The Sentinels will be taking over, and Kitty will be dead, and Kurt will be dead, and Professor X will be dead, and everyone will be dead.
Hey, true believers, how's that for an anniversary celebration? We've got danger, death, and destruction, lineup changes and new teams, old enemies and new hatreds, and all, as always, within the pages of the world's most popular superhero comic books, the X-Men and the Avengers. But it happens quick, so keep your eyes open. You don't want to miss a single minute of the sizzling superhero excitement this summer from Marvel Comics.
How do you keep the X-Men fresh after 30 years?
I keep them in Tupperware, and in my freezer is pretty much how I do it. And they're right there behind the mayo and just off to the side of the ketchup.